Welcome back to CBS Soap Dish Recap, where we recap everything CBS soaps, both the Young and the Restless and the Bold and the Beautiful. And this is your Young and the Restless recap for August 15th, 2022. And we got to see in this particular episode, looks like Kyle is weirded out about his parents' closeness. We also got to see Tessa get her voice back. And then there is this whole manipulation challenge between Victor and Chance. So before we unpack all of this, take a second to make sure you're subscribed to the channel. And please don't forget to like and share. So we're over at the ranch where we see both Nick and Nikki having a conversation about the cover-up of Ashlyn Locke's death. Now, of course, Nicholas is not happy at all on how his dear old dad handled the situation. Well, while they're both having this conversation and how badly this is affecting him, Victor walks in and catches them. And yeah, he finds them complaining about this whole situation. But this is where, of course, we hear Victor warning Nicholas against Nick's self-righteous indignation. I just think it's his conscience talking to him. And, he's trying to take accountability for his actions and his part of this. And he's just not happy about the fact of how Victor handled this situation. But to call him self-righteous, indignant, yeah, I don't think that was cool at all. And you can tell Nicholas he couldn't believe what his dad said. So we're over at the coffee house meanwhile, and Kevin finds Chance. This is where we see he revealed that he recovered and rebuilt the missing security footage. Now, that footage confirms that the car at the gas station indeed belonged to Ashlyn Locke. Although Chance and Kevin won't be able to make out the face of the person who got behind the wheel, they will see that he tossed a cigarette butt and covered his tracks. Now, Kevin mentions that one of Victor's guards is a smoker. So Chance is hoping that that's enough. So now we're with Mariah, Faith, and Sharon. As the two of them, meaning Mariah and Faith, came back from dorm shopping as she's headed off to college. So Sharon marvels over everything that they bought. Tessa comes in and, surprise, she arrives from her doctor's appointment and she admits that she's been cleared to talk a little bit. So we got to hear her talk. Mariah is thrilled for Tessa, and, of course, they're having a whole conversation about all of this, and the conversation of, Mariah going back to work, and she's not happy about overseeing this whole Diane Jenkins being in PR now, and this is where she dashes off. Now, after Faith leaves to meet Moses, Tessa opens up to Sharon about her fear that she won't be able to sing again. This is where Sharon will think, it's natural to be scared, but, she wants her to stay positive. And this is where we also see Sharon convince her to take the Marchetti modeling job. She said, this is business. They're not just giving you a sympathy job, which is what Tessa thought this was. She also goes in to talk about the fact that this is what she used to do as being the face of Jabot as a spokesmodel, but they call it now a brand ambassador. So now we're over at Society, and we see Summer treating Phyllis to lunch on her first day of work. And, as much as they're having this pleasant banter, we all know what Phyllis's agenda is. But, her daughter Summer reminds her to stay away from Diane. And do you actually think Phyllis is going to listen to that? Please. Now we're over at the Chancellor Park, where we see both Diane and Jack. They're bonding as they're watching Harrison play at the park. And when Jack runs over to kind of figure out what's going on with Harrison, Kyle comes in. Kyle comes along and he sees how well both his parents are getting along, so much so that it's kind of weirding him out. especially with the way Diane is looking and having these little googly eyes, and the fact that, Jack and her are making this whole joking, pleasant banter. He's wondering what the heck is going on with these two. So now later we're at Jabot. We see Kyle and Diane. They end up joining Phyllis, Summer, and Mariah. And you can tell they are just so fake nice to each other. It's just pathetic. We see Mariah, she's commenting on everybody being just one big happy family. And we all know that this is about to just implode from within. I feel sorry pretty much for Mariah because she's over PR, and especially for Kyle and Summer because they're trusting this situation. And it's crazy to me. It's so unfortunate that, this is about to blow up. Now, at the same time, we see, Phyllis is claiming not to cause problems, but that's when we see her texting Nikki and Ashley about her getting this party started. So now we're over at Newman Enterprises. Abby stopped by to bring Victoria a care package from Society with her favorite soups and salads. And she's wondering how Victoria is holding up. Now, Victoria assumes Abby knows more than what she's letting on, especially when it comes to this whole Ashland Locke situation. Now, after Victoria recaps this whole horrible night in dramatic fashion, Abby, of course, is giving into her sympathetic side, and she's sympathetic to her sister's whole ordeal. Victoria is acting like the car accident was legit and wonder what Chance really hopes to gain by investigating this whole thing any further. Abby is hating that Victoria isn't getting the closure she needs. So this is where, with her, laying it on thick, Victoria is hoping that Abby can convince Chance, that they can, back off and put this behind them. And you can tell Abby is like, okay, I think I'm getting a little bit manipulated here. And the answer to that question, Abby, is yes, you are. This is when it gets a little dicey yet interesting. So we're over at the ranch again. Chance shows up to show Victor the security footage that was recovered and pointed out that someone who wasn't Ashland literally covered his tracks. Now, since the police still hasn't, they still have the dropped cigarette butt, Chance notes that they're going to check it for DNA. Now, Chance will also point out that the cigarette was the same brand that Victor's security guard smoked. Now, after Victor suggests that cigarette butt could have been dropped at any time, Chance counters back that it hadn't been that long. Now, Victor urges Chance to see that, you're wasting your time on this investigation. But Chance won't think uncovering the truth is ever a waste of time. Now, that leaves Victor trying another angle of manipulation in hoping of making Chance back off. Victor reminds Chance that Abby faced a similar ordeal with Stitch before Dominic was born, back when Chance wasn't around to protect his family. Now, after Victor presents this whole hypothetical situation where Abby might have killed Stitch to protect her life and her unborn child, he wonders what would Chance would have done if he had stepped in. Now, this is where Chance claps back that he's bringing in facts and evidence to the table. And since Victor is talking about irrelevant hypotheticals, Chance refused to even answer that question. Now, once Chance starts ranting about the oath as a cop, Victor argued that he should develop a greater sense of family instead. Now, Chance is angry at this point. He's pointing his finger at Victor during the whole confrontation. But Victor warns him, Chance, oh boy, you better not do that next time. Victor then dismisses Chance and tells him to give his love to Abby. And at this point, not only is Victor frustrated with this whole investigation, so is Chance. Chance is frustrated and pensive over this whole case at this point. So now we're back over at Crimson Lights. Nick comes in with Nikki. Nick admits to Nikki that Sharon knows everything. And Nikki's not happy about that. That why are you telling family business to outsiders? And this is where Nick is talking about the burden of being responsible for Ashlyn's death. Nikki insists that you did nothing wrong. But Nick would contend that they're all accessories to Victor's crime and he needed somebody to talk to. And of course, Sharon is a therapist. And so this is where we see Victor summons both of them and the rest of the family members to come over to the ranch. And so anytime you get summoned from Victor, you know something is up. So they're looking like, okay, now what? What is this about now? I'm telling you, this is a good storyline. I'm really enjoying it, to say the least. So now we're over at the ranch. Victor looks pissed. Everybody comes in, Nikki and Nicholas. Soon after, we see Victoria shows up. And this is where Victor announced that Chance made a discovery that one of his security team will pay dearly for. And Nick would just want to know how much Chance have learned and how close is he to proving what has really happened. So we got to stay tuned because you know Chance is going to have to make some tough choices and I am here for it. Okay, so there you have it, your Young and the Restless recap for Monday, August 15th, 2022. Stay tuned for the Bold and the Beautiful recap. And until the next video, take a second to make sure you're subscribed to the channel and don't forget to like and share. We'll see you in the next video. Bye.